But I tend to think that for global politics, global play, we needed somebody that had, especially coming from the shadows of Mrs. Okonjo-Iweala, you know, which love her or hate her, she's a colossus globally in that sector. So somebody coming in again, one would expect that Nigeria would bring another Okonjo-Iweala that you call the name. But you see, external expectations and the dreams of Mr. President may be two different things. That's why each time I want to complain, I say, look, you're not the man on the seat. So he probably sees what I don't see. He knows what I don't know. He probably has a different approach to killing a rat than I do, thinking it will be this. Maybe he set up a trap somewhere, and he probably needs less of that visibility, impose, whatever, and somebody who's going to do more of sitting down and really working it out, and not this international figure who is globetrotting. I don't know. He probably has his what cut out. And working with Udo Udoma, I think, is one of the best things that has happened, because Udo Udoma, to me, is one of the most reliable in that place. My only fear and concern is that when you have people of integrity, it has a way of coming back to haunt you. I see a situation where these people must be given the latitude to do the work. And where for any reason you refuse to let them do their work, I see very easily some of them coming to you say, thank you, sir, I'm grateful for the privilege, but I think my time is up.
Let me stop you there as we tie. Let's see if we can put this together. You mentioned three people.
Yes.
Udo Udoma, you mentioned Adeosun, and you talked about Enelema. But the three of them occupy three ministries, to head three ministries that are related, the economy. So how best do you think the three of them can?
The best way for them is to leave ego out and work as a team. And I'm happy that the coordinating minister of the economy is different from anywhere.
Any of them?
From, maybe I'm using a wrong word, maybe not because coordinating minister of the economy is actually constitutional with the office of the Minister of Finance. That's what people don't know.
No.
It wasn't.
It's actually the office of the Vice President.
Well, let's
No.
you cross-check that. We now have what some people, I won't call names, refer as the Prime Minister. Do you understand me? So that is like the face of government as presented by one of the papers today. So that takes the pressure off the second person wanting to be. I think Adeosun should just form this marriage, you know, between Udo Udoma, you know. And when I say marriage, it's not one woman, two men. I mean, working a synergy. If the three of them work together without the airs of "I am the minister of this," if they work together, I think it will work out.
Okay. Yeah. I think a word on Mrs. Adeosun. You see, a lot of people don't know her. She was the immediate past commissioner in Ogun State, and she has a very rich background in high finance. I don't think. You see, the fact that where she was before now, she wasn't under the kind of intense legalized as in Lagos, probably tended to overshadow some of the good work she did in Osun, in Ogun. She grew the revenue there dramatically. And so, give it to her that the woman comes richly endowed for the job. So I don't think that would be a problem. Look, the real challenge that we have today, I said, is allowing these people to work. I do not think that the problem that we have today is about having a finance minister who has a kind of global appeal. That's not what Nigeria needs. What Nigeria needs, with due respect to the tenure of the immediate past finance minister, is Okonjo-Iweala. All the alliances that were forged with World Bank, IMF, I'm yet to see how it actually translated in terms of, for 5 years in Stadio, we didn't really, today we are still talking about the same fundamentals of the economy. We had all macroeconomic fundamentals, we had all stability, all those kind of things for those years, and yet today we are back to the very same spot where we were.
Okay, now
we had good years, almost 10 years of steady and sustained oil earnings. We couldn't lay the foundation despite the impressive resume of these people. And then you ask yourself, isn't it about time we needed men who can think local rather than think global? You see, you could have someone that can fly all over the world, and then the child next door cannot take the next meal. I don't think that's the kind of thing we need. We need people who actually have an understanding, a profound grasp of our local economy, and who are able to work for Nigerian people. It's not about, with due respect to the past, I'm not here to criticize, but the truth of the matter is that we had more than 10 years of sustained oil earnings. Today, our infrastructures are still shambolic, and now we are talking about how to fix it. We need people who can build the very foundations.
Okay, now let's.
No. One second, gentlemen, please.
10 seconds, okay.
Gentlemen,
okay.
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
When you talk about understanding the local economy, taking our resources that have been the resources earned and using it to build the local economy. Earlier we were talking about who coordinates the economy. Is it constitutional? You the two of you were arguing which one is which. But the local economy as it relates to the international community, because we are not in isolation here. How do we get that? You've said it here, or we've all agreed that these men are on ground. They are good to go, but there are challenges. Meeting those challenges. You're pointing to the local. Please, let's go from there.
Now, what do we have presently? I don't think the kind of framework. You see, we have a team, and I want to see the Federal Executive Council as a team, with each unit playing its part. For instance, finance. What do we have? The greatest challenge we have today is the inflow of revenue and all the leakages within the system. Now we have the customs that went almost on the loose. We have a new man there trying to plug all the loopholes. We need all the revenue that we can get, not necessarily from oil, but from every sector that can bring in revenue. Now, I want to see a revamped revenue framework that can actually tap as much of federal revenue as we can get, so that we can have money to develop the economy. Now, what we had in the past was easy money, of course, easy come, easy go. So, if we had a sound finance ministry with all the key parastatals playing their parts, most likely, most of the problems that we had in the past, in terms of huge revenue leakages, will be addressed. And come to think of it, our problems in this country has not always been lack of money, lack of funds. It has always been more in the area of misapplication of funds. Funds are voted for projects, and somehow those funds never get there. For every kobo, for every 10 naira that is voted for a project in this country, probably less than 1 naira gets there. That's why the average man on the street doesn't feel the impact of governance. And so what I expect this present administration to do is to focus on delivering value for Nigerians. No matter, we look at their budget. They're proposing about 8.something trillion budget. I read it the other day, I laughed. The problem is not the size of the budget, but actually what gets into the grassroots. You can budget 10 billion, 10 trillion, but if only a fraction of that gets to the grassroots, it means it comes to next to nothing. So I believe that this team, the challenge they have really is to ensure that all the revenues are captured, and that for the first time, at least for once, Nigerians begin to see governance in terms of the deliverables. We want to see our roads fixed. It's not about sitting down. The other day somebody joked that Federal Executive Council has more or less become a kind of a contract awarding something. Every Wednesday, you tune on the radio and say, today, this is how much contracts have been awarded. No, that's not the job of... I have never heard of American cabinet meeting to discuss issues of budget. That's work for Bureau for Public Procurement, which could be better done at that level. Okay. What we need is we need to build institutions, let institutions work, but ultimately the challenge of this administration is to get them to deliver value for every kobo of public funds that is spent.
All right, Mr. Etok,
let me just clear two things. There is the leader of the economic team as vice president. The coordinating minister of the economy is the Minister of Finance. They are two different things.
There's no coordinating minister.
Well, please check the constitution. I know
it's not there.